Hello, everyone. Happy Friday, and thank you so much for joining us on Comics from the Future. This is the show we do every single Friday where we preview the upcoming comics, all the coolest covers from Marvel, DC, tons of independent studios, even some graphic novels, and all that good stuff. So you're in the right place if you want to be up to date on all this. But first, in case you don't know, my name is Megan.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Jason. We're with Infinity Flux Comics out of the lovely Chattanooga, Tennessee area.
Yes, we have a brick and mortar store here, so if you are in the area or ever by, we'd love to have you in. And if not, we do offer mail order subscriptions and things like that, so stay tuned and find out the contact info on the screen at the end. It is a really, really, really big week.
This is quite a big week.
It snuck up on us. I feel like we didn't even know, and then we looked, we're like, oh my gosh.
I didn't count the official number of number ones, but I think there's over 20 new number ones this week. But this follows two kind of smaller weeks.
Yeah.
So you're going to want to pay attention, you're going to want to take some notes, and we'll try to cover all the high points with you today. So let's get into it because it's going to be a long one.
First off is Batman Secret Files, The Signal #1. So they're going to be doing these one-shots called Batman Secret Files, starting off with Duke Thomas, The Signal, that we haven't seen in a little while since he was in Batman and the Outsiders. In this one, he is returning from all those adventures back to Gotham, but to find it a very different Gotham than when he left. Of course, he is the Gotham's defender in the daytime, as when Batman is doing it at night. And when he gets there, he finds out there is a white market, which is a deadly source for weapons and a bunch of bad stuff for criminals that even Batman can't track down the source of. So it sounds like a really fun one-shot. This is by writer Tony Patrick and artist Christian Deuce, who worked on the original Signal miniseries. So definitely want to check this one out. This is the Ken Lashley cover. And then we have the Cully Hamner cover.
A quick question. What is a white market?
I'm guessing the opposite of a black market.
Maybe if a black market... they're doing good things? They're doing like extra legal things?
Yeah, it's legal, I guess.
Is black market only on the internet? And this is like...
No, black market's a much older word than the internet.
Yeah,
back alley sort of deal, selling organs and things like that.
Because I'm assuming it's still illegal. Like, I don't think he's going to be like rolling up, being like, I'm
going to look for a way to shut you down, but I know all this stuff is okay.
Okay.
I'm not sure, so that's what it says. I'm interested to see, and I like that they're doing some of these one-shots, spotlighting some minor back characters.
Okay, so another one we need to discuss is they are re-releasing Dark Knight's Death Metal, but they're doing it in these one-shots, as they came out, so issues 1 through 3. They're coming with vinyl records with just one track a piece. So, for instance, this is Death Metal #1. It has a new cover, and it comes with a vinyl record with one original track. And this is done by the dude who helped do like the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack. It's real deal bands. They didn't just get the DC studio people together to sing songs. So this was first announced. It was happening just over in Europe. They were selling these. And DC fans all across our country got pretty mad about it. Everybody was like, why are they selling this in Europe? Why are they not selling it here in the U.S.? So they now are doing it here in the U.S. But the problem and the bad news I have for all of you out there, this is such a limited run. You'll be lucky if your store gets more than one of them. So the issue #1, they're doing 3,000 of. There's not an official count of comic stores in the United States, but there's a general estimate that there is about 3,000 stores. So stores are only going to get more than one of these if another store doesn't order any at all, which I think would be silly. We've already been asked by, probably like a dozen people about these. Yep. So I hate to bring up a product that's like, this is really cool, this is neat. We don't know if we'll have it. We don't know, so we literally can't take pre-orders. With anybody who orders through us, what we ask is if you want these, let us know. We're going to put your name in a hat, and however many we get, we're going to draw out the hat and sell them that way. These do not have really an MSRP on them. My bet is I believe this one would be probably about $25. Roughly, it might be more. It's going to be market forces that sort of determine price. There's also number 2. So same deal. It's a reprint of Death Metal number 2, but it has a vinyl record with another original song. These songs were inspired by the content of death metal, so I think that's pretty cool. Here's number 3. Now, I don't know if they're going to do 4 through 6. That hasn't been announced. I think it'd be kind of weird if they didn't, because anybody, maybe it's their first time, they're more into music than comics, they finish issue 3 and they're like, is that it? I mean, things were pretty unsettled.
Just heating up at that point.
By issue 3. So the other thing is, so issue 1, they're doing 3,000 of. Issue 2 and 3, they're only doing 2,000 of, even less. Then here's the whole soundtrack. Okay, they're doing the whole soundtrack. I once again don't know what the cost is going to be. There's no MSRP. I would say this is probably $50, $60. You can get the double record set, which is all original music for Dark Knight's Death Metal by a bunch of talented musicians. They are only making 2,000 of these. So, I mean, I'm not on here to complain. I'm just letting you know the state of things. I hate it when there's something that's desirable. I know a lot of people are going to want it, and we aren't going to have enough of them. So the best we can do is just educate, show everyone how we're trying to do it in a fair way. I mean, I kind of want these, but honestly, we're just going to give them up to people who want them even more. So
maybe they'll let us come over and listen to them and read the comics.
There you go. So.
All right, next up is Justice League Infinity. No relation. That was my joke.
You gotta tell us. We're gonna have the drums right.
Justice League Infinity. This is going to be a 7-part miniseries written by J.M. DeMatteis and James Tucker. James Tucker actually produced the Justice League Unlimited show. So I'm in a full circle here with art by Ethan Beavers. So definitely for fans of comics, but also fans of the Justice League Unlimited animated series will really like this. So this is got a lot going on, but one of the coolest things I thought is that the war for the throne of Apocalypse has arrived on Earth, and the only way they can decide the ruler is to see who can destroy the Justice League. So it sounds like it's going to be brutal and very action-filled, but also set in that lighthearted, fun, fast-paced, animated way. So once again, 7-part miniseries.
Definitely playing off of the success of Batman. The adventure continues to be like, hey, we had these other shows people really liked. And that Justice League Unlimited ended in a really interesting way that was teased that Terry McGinnis was actually like blood related to Bruce Wayne, and they brought in all these different characters. So I'll be interested to see if this continues the story that was left off in that or whatever. But
as far as other animated stuff, I've heard it's not solicited yet, but there's going to be a Harley Quinn animated.
Yeah, based on the newer show.
Yeah, so.
All right, and it does have a variant cover with it. This is the cover by Scott Hepburn.
Here we go. It's another X-Men #1. But I think this sounds really, really cool. So we are currently in the Hellfire Gala. I believe the next part in that is going to be Planet Size X-Men #1, which is going to set the stage for this new X-Men #1. We just got the revelation of who the new team is, and I think this sounds really interesting. So this is by Jerry Duggan, the writer, and Pepe Larraz, the artist, and it is it almost sounds like that this X-Men team is maybe not 100% on board with what's going on with Krakoa, because they are coming at it with the idea that, well, almost their motto is save not just mutants, but everyone. That's kind of the big thing about Krakoa, was like, we're putting mutants first finally and everything. So it looks like this team is going to be, like, feel a little bit more traditional X-Men, which I know a lot of people have really wanted. I mean, the Hickman story has been awesome and grandiose, but we actually haven't gotten an official X team during this run. The X-Men book has kind of followed a bunch of different characters, but they haven't been a unified X-Men team, and this is what this is going to be. So you've got your members like Cyclops, Marvel Girl, Sunfire, Rogue, Wolverine, that's X-23, Sync, and Polaris. And yeah, there's not a whole lot of details about this, other than they'll basically do whatever they can to protect their home planet. So I think this sounds really cool. I'm very excited about this, and hopefully it's going to be a good jumping on point for people who maybe missed the beginning of this X-Men run, and they can jump on board with this new number 1.
I wonder how Wolverine feels that X-23 got chosen for the team over him.
Yeah, he's probably preoccupied just walking around Canada. So we have a bunch of variant covers for this. So we have the CARNERO variant. This is a Stormbreakers variant. We have a CASSARA variant with Polaris. We have the let's see, this one might actually be the CASSARA, because there's also a DAUTERMAN new lineup variant. Let's see, what's the next one? Yeah, I believe this is the new lineup, or this might be the Houston 90s.
Yeah, that's
okay. So this is the Houston 90s variant.
Yeah, I think this might be the trading card one. I think you might be doing one issue showing all of them.
I was thinking that it was going to be like a lineup of like all of them, but
DAUTERMAN, as we'll see later, we have another variant by him. We'll show with another book. He does lots of characters typically, but I think they're rolling these out slow. Cool. So I think that is the DAUTERMAN.
Then we have the 90s.
Yep.
Of course, the LIEFELD, because we're still celebrating Deadpool's.
Look at that Wolverine growl.
That is scary.
That's epic.
Then we have the. Let's see, is this the SILVA or is this the?
I believe that's the COELLO.
Okay.
Stormbreakers variant.
Yes.
And then, so many to keep up with.
I know, because we have
some stand out though. I mean,
yes, we have the MOMOKO. That is I believe the anime month variant she's doing, the first one in that. And then we have, I believe this is...
SILVA?
Yeah, and it's going to be connecting, I believe, with the first couple of issues.
I see.
Showing off their new costumes.
I bet no one can guess this next one.
So, of course, we have the Scotty Young variant as well.
I'm glad, a lot of times he just does one character. I like the whole team. You get a lot of Scotty Young on
He
that
does
cover.
have to give up his witty dialogue to fit more characters, but it's okay.
Yeah, they got enough personality. All right, so also from Marvel, they are launching a new sort of mini event called Extreme Carnage. So at the end of the King in Black, Carnage was not doing too hot. In fact, Cletus Cassidy was pretty much gone for good, it seems like. But we've learned a lot since then. We've learned that anyone who gets attached to a symbiote, their codex ends up in the hive. When there's a strong enough connection, almost anything can happen. People can come back. So I haven't read this. I don't know this, but I mean, come on, Cletus Cassidy is going to come back.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. I mean, you also have the new Venom movie, Let There Be Carnage coming up. They're going to pump that up. But I'm glad. I like Carnage. Carnage doesn't really have ongoing series, so the most you get are these cool mini-series. So Extreme Carnage, let me tell you how it's going to work. It is going to be a series of one-shots that doesn't just follow Carnage. It follows all the different symbiotes from the Life Foundation. We're talking about Scream, Agony, Lasher, Phage, and Riot. In fact, all of them, so it's going to start with Extreme Carnage Alpha number 1, which is this. Then it's going to have a one-shot for each of those characters, although I haven't seen one announced for Agony. Scream gets one, Lasher gets one, Phage gets one, and Riot gets one. Agony, there's nothing said for. Then there are 2 more one-shots that have not been announced as to what their names are. They're mystery one-shots. And then the whole thing is ending with Extreme Carnage Omega. So it's hard to find these details. That's what we try to do with the show. It's like, is it ongoing? Is it one-shots? So it's a series of one-shots. Carnage is a very popular character at our store. I think very popular in general, so I want people to know about this.
And we have Flash Thompson on the cover as the new Anti-Venom, which
he is back.
Big.
Yes, that happened right towards the end of Venom and King in Black. Is Flash Thompson is one of those codexes that got brought back. So I think Cletus Cassidy's coming back too. Now, as far as what the plot is, it's been kept very secretive. Pretty much it says that now that King in Black has redefined the symbiotes, they're all kind of figuring out who they are again. And at the center is sort of the big brother one, which is Carnage. and I assume he's probably going to be hunting them. It seems like that's what he always does.
Yeah.
But typically these stories are really good. Carnage, he's one of those characters who pushes PG-13 into the R territory in Marvel, and that's what's fun about reading about him. I mean, Venom's always been a cool character, but he's turned into such a hero. Carnage keeps more that spirit, that chaotic spirit going. So we've got a couple variants on this. Here is the Johnson is actually doing 2 different connecting variants. This is the first one. Sort of looks like almost like a trading card border.
They're really into this trading card look.
Yep. From what I hear, the 90s were a popular time. And then here's the second one. So 2 of them are with this one. They're both by Johnson. And then we have the Scotty Young. He got to have a little dialogue there. Yep. And lastly, here is the U wraparound. So we just showed off all the X-Men variants. There were a ton of those. There's quite a bit of these too. One reason we do it is us stores, we cannot just order like 50 of each variant. It's real important for you to tell your stores in advance which ones you want, because once those orders are locked, it's hard to get them later on. Sometimes they print to the number. So I meant to say it back with X-Men. Please let us know, because I mean, we're not going to get 50 Polarises and then find out, oops, like a dozen people wanted it that we didn't know. So.
All right, this looks super cute. It's a new one from Boom, and it is called MOMO. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. M-A-M-O. It's written and drawn by Sas Millage, an Australian creator. It's their first original creation. So it's a 5-part miniseries, and it said it's good for fans of Sabrina and Last Witch, which are really lighthearted, fantasy-driven stories. So this is about our main character here. Her name is Orla. She's a witch, and she's from a line of witches. Her grandmother dies, and her grandmother was sort of the matriarch and took care of keeping harmony between the fairy world and the human world. So after she died, now there's chaos reigning. The crops are souring. You can't fish anymore, so the human world is being really affected by the death of Orla's grandmother, Momo. So it's really interesting that they named the series after a character who has passed away already. So I think that'll be really cool to see. And you can check out some of the preview pages on Previews World. The art is incredible, really detailed. You get to see the mushrooms with the fairies and just all these really nice details. It looks lighthearted, but that it has some depth to it. So it'll probably be a shame that it's a 5-parter, but it look like I'll be able to recommend this. So really cool one from Boom, and we all know Boom puts out lots of good stuff, especially lately. And just the one cover.
Here we go. This is my big one. So yesterday they dropped the teaser trailer for the new Masters of the Universe Revelation series for Netflix. And then today we have the solicitation for Master Universe Revelation, the prequel comic to the new series. So if you didn't know, the new series is actually a continuation of the original 80s series, the original 80s TV show, but with a more adult edge. This is helmed by Kevin Smith, who is actually like co-plotting the comic. This is from an original Kevin Smith idea. And the writer is Tim Sheridan, who is also a writer on the TV show. So this is going to be very important to world building for this new era of He-Man. The art is by Mindy Lee, who has a very interesting style. Did Crimson Lotus recently. And this is going to be 4-issue mini. Hopefully it continues on with a lot more. But it says, after a vicious Orlax attack on King Randor, I looked up, we have not seen an Orlax before. He-Man learns that this creature has some tie to his Sword of Power and goes on a adventure to find out what that connection is and kind of setting up the events of the new one, because we know in the upcoming series it's going to deal with Skeletor actually getting the Sword of Power and being the all-powerful ruler of Eternia. And this promises it's going to have all your favorite characters in it. Of course, He-Man's going to run into Skeletor, Evil Lyn. This is going to set up Teela as this taking on this new role it teases, which we know she's going to be a big part of the new series. I hope we see my favorite characters, Mosquitor, and Moss Man. Hopefully, will make an appearance. But I think this is going to be really cool. Also, the Master Universe property is really revving up right now. There's been a movie in the kind of nebulous works for a long time, and this may end up being the first comic appearance of a lot of these characters. Star Comics, which was a part of Marvel years ago, and Image, and a few others have had their properties. But even still, there's so many Master Universe characters that have not appeared in comics form. I think this is going to be really interesting to see who they bring into this. And yeah, so very excited about this. Anybody who shops at our store knows I'm a big fan. I wear like a Skeletor shirt sometimes on this show and everything. I think this is going to be a really big deal. I think it's going to be another big hit for Netflix, and this is a good way to get into it.
I think this is going to be a sleeper hit. This is, we're careful which ones we feature, and I think this is going to be underordered. I think people are going to come back for it later once the Netflix show starts. So this is your chance to get it now. And I mean, look at the cover. The cover is so epic.
Yeah, the Sejic.
Yes, Stepan Sejic, such a great artist. And I mean, that cover just really awesome.
And it actually, they say online, the artist that's going to be doing the rest of the series covers, Dave Wilkins, is worked on stuff like that Wolverine versus Blade comic that had such a great cover.
Right.
He's a really, really awesome artist. So these are all going to have incredible covers. But the variant for this is a Mike Mignola variant, which I have already seen people asking for this for weeks once it was revealed. Love how this looks. I would love to see a full story drawn by Mignola about He-Man and Skeletor. I'm sure he would love to do a Skeletor just moping around. But really exciting. It definitely let us know which cover you want. And
are there any two covers with such different styles? I mean, here's the one, here's the other.
I love it. It shows the range that He-Man can go through.
All right, so from Image Skybound, they are releasing a weekly series called Skybound X. This is going to be a 5-issue miniseries, so you only have to get it for 5 weeks. It's not going on forever and ever and ever. So what is it? It is, first and foremost, it's a celebration of Skybound's 10th anniversary. They've been around for 10 years. They've launched so many good comics, worked with so many good creators. So this is going to be sort of anthology style. It's going to tell stories from these already established properties. The first one, of course, probably the most notable one is The Walking Dead.
Yep.
They're going to have some new Walking Dead stories, including this one called Rick Grimes 2000, which, look at the cover. It's Rick Grimes in the future. He's holding a lightsaber.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's what they're going to call it, but that's what's happening on this cover. And this is not just like a what-if cover. This is like a story that's in it.
I believe, a continuation of Walking Dead 75 had the backup story by Robert Kirkman and Ryan Ottley doing the art, who's going to continue this, where Robert Kirkman always, his pitch for the series to get it made was like, oh, the zombies are aliens. The aliens brought the zombies here to help wipe out humanity before they take over. And this is him fulfilling that promise and doing this weird story where, like, it has aliens and zombies and cyborgs.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So and that's why you have Rick Grimes with basically a lightsaber. And that is a Ryan Ottley cover, by the way.
Yeah.
So what else will it have? It's also going to have a new story in the Ultra Mega universe. Mm-hmm. It's going to have a new story in the Manifest Destiny universe. But I'd say the other thing everybody is probably going to want this for, it is going to be the first appearance of Clementine, the character from the Walking Dead video game series. Mm-hmm. The super popular series. So this is going to be Clementine's first appearance in comics in this #1. So don't miss that. There are a few covers to this. There is the Heron cover, because of course, like I said, we're going to have some Ultra Mega in this. Mm-hmm. There is the Walden cover. I believe we get some Clementine right there. There is the Adlard cover, another Clementine cover.
Mhm.
And lastly, there's going to be a blank sketch cover where you can get your favorite artist to do whatever you want on there.
Yes.
Have Darth Vader going up against Rey with the lightsabers.
Okay, this is a new one from Upshot Comics called Fight Girls, and probably most importantly, it is written and drawn by Frank Cho. And I really love this cover because it just nails the premise down right on the cover. How often do you get that? Like, they're really trying to sell this to you. 10 women, 4 challenges, 1 crown. So that is the premise. There are 10 women who have to engage in a battle. It's an ancient battle, so it's going to be a lot of lore, a lot of history, for the title of Queen of the Galaxy. So that is the premise here. It doesn't get much more simple than that. I think this is a really well done concept. It's very simple, but hopefully it's done effectively. And we all know Frank Cho does amazing art. He particularly does a lot of draws a lot of ladies. So
Yes.
that's all this is gonna be. It also seems to be ongoing, so I don't know how many issues it'll end up being, but he loves to do this style too. Like, it reminds me of the Marjorie Finnegan.
Yeah.
Just in action.
And
running.
I love how bright the cover is too.
Mhm.
You don't see too often of like, this looks like a poster for a real event or something. And
Yeah.
it's
So,
very cool.
Looks pretty cool. Looks very well conceived. So I'm excited about this. So it also has a variant cover by Deodato Jr. Looks like it's going to be a wraparound. Yeah.
I don't know how I do this and not do it like Pigs in Space. So it's Orcs in Space. This is really exciting. This is a new book from Oni by the creative mind of Justin Roiland that everyone knows from Rick and Morty and what's the one on Hulu that we talk about all the time?
Oh, Solar Opposites.
Solar Opposites. Yeah, this one is actually going to follow a group of orcs, 3 orcs from this planet, and everybody and everything is after them. So when the bureaucrats from Starbleep land on the planet, which is the most like Rick and Morty sounding thing is Starbleep, the orcs hijack it, not knowing that this is the most advanced AI controlled ship in the galaxy. And they are now on the run in this ship and trying to avoid Starbleep. And I'm sure getting up to a whole bunch of weird shenanigans. So this is Justin Roiland, Michael Tanner, Rashad Gieth, and Abed Gieth all writing it. This is a double-sized first issue, and the art is by Francis Vigneault. I write these and then I don't practice them, which is also the cover artist. But I think this is going to be really, really cool. Anything, I mean, Justin Roiland touches is a big deal because that is, I mean, he's got such a creative vision for things that I'm sure you're going to get a whole lot of that in this as well. And who knows, these characters could show up in one of his things just walking through the scene. So really, really cool. There is a variant as well, and this is by G-A-U-X.
So yeah, I'll be grabbing several of these because what are the odds that this isn't going to get its own cartoon show?
Yeah.
I mean, Rick and Morty is fantastically popular. Tons of just all kinds of goodies you can buy related to the show. Solar Opposites is doing great too. People like Solar Opposites. So it's like, if I feel like if this comic comes out and it gets good reviews, it's the testing ground. Why in the world would some station not want to pick it up for yet another show? Unless Justin Roiland is just too busy. So, all right. So next up, we have a new comic from Image called Ordinary Gods. This is by Kyle Higgins, who of course is doing Radiant Black. The premise is a little weird. So there are actually 13 more number ones. I want to break away to say there are 13 more number ones. We don't have time to talk about all of them a lot, so we're just going to do like fast reviews now. So basically there are these 5 super powerful gods, and they have somehow been condemned to Earth to live normal lives over and over again, live and die. They're trapped here. Well, there's apparently this kid. He's a teenager. He works at a paint store, and he gets the revelation he's one of these gods, and he has to try to break out and learn his roots. That's the premise as far as I know it. It just has the one cover.
All right, this is called Gods of
More God
Brutality
stuff.
from Scout Comics. So this is, we're talking about a few Scout comics this week. This one had the most interesting premise to me. So Gods of Brutality is the name of a band, and the lead singer there, the premise is that way back in the day, he died for about a minute and a half and was declared clinically dead. And he claims that during that time he was dead, he was actually in hell being tortured by demons. So he prayed for anybody to come save him, and Thor and Hercules swooped down, bring him out of hell, and he was able to form this rock band. So this is the story of that minute and 30 seconds he was dead, what happened to him in hell, his saving, all that.
That's so metal.
It's pretty metal sounding, and so it's a 4-part series. There we go.
Next up is LUNAR, ladies. This is an homage to the public domain character Moon Girl. And this story follows, it's set millions of years ago when an advanced society of women live underneath the surface of the moon. And in a time of trial and upheaval for them, a geneticist tries to usurp the Moon Queen as this civilization is slowly crumbling. So another new Scout book. Very, very interesting.
The next number one in this week of tons of number ones, especially Scout, like were they just like holding back
I
and
guess
just release all their books? So this is another book about Murder Hobo. He's had other miniseries. This is Murder Hobo, Chaotic Neutral. This is a 5-issue series, or I'm sorry, this is a 4-issue series that they claim is the Murder Hobo is a cross between a violent drunk, a baby-making demon, and a pixie dust addict.
Oh, another one of those. How many times have you seen that?
Those of you out there that appeals to, you already know you're going to get this. Just go ahead and let us know that you want it.
All right, No Ghosts in Hiroshima, another one from Scout. This is about a man who wrongfully condemned another man to hell, and he feels guilty about it, so he is trying to free that soul. But in the meantime, his efforts are calling up demonic attention, so he's not going to get away with it so easily. So we'll see.
But he does not start a band,
not
from what
in
I
this
hear.
one.
Okay.
That's happening in a separate corner of hell.
Different Scout Hell universe. Next up, I feel like I don't have to explain this concept as much anymore because everyone has done it. This is Red Sonja, Black, White, and Red. Of course, this is going to be an anthology series by different writers and artists. This first one actually has Kurt Busiek, who a great writer who's actually done a lot of Conan before, doing separate Red Sonja tales, only using red, black, and white to tell the story, just like Batman, black and white, just like Wolverine, red, white, and blood, just like Carnage, red, white, and blood.
You get it.
You get the idea. Superman, red, blue, and other colors. You got it. So, new miniseries from Dynamite.
The next number one is The Clans of Bellari. This is a new sci-fi series from Aftershock. So this is set in space. It's about an isolated sector of humanity who are in a feudal dystopia that very badly needs a revolution. And it's going to be up to somebody, probably on this cover, probably front and center, to lead said revolution.
All right, new Life is Strange miniseries starting, so it's a new story arc, and this one actually follows the lead character from the new game instead of our old character. So these comic book game adaptations always do really well, and there's such a huge following. Life is Strange was such a good game, and they just keep continuing to put out good comics as well. So it's going to be a 4-part series, I believe, so check it out.
This is a River of London story. A lot of people are big fans of River of London, the award-winning book series and everything. This one follows Peter Grant, the full-time cop, part-time wizard, is on a hunt for a werewolf to bring them to justice. And this one's called Monday.
So this is the C cover. This is the Tau variant to the new one-shot Van Helsing vs. Invisible Woman. So it's just a good one-and-done tale. Of course, this is not the old Van Helsing. This is his ancestor, who is a girl, and she's going up against, I guess, the ancestor of the Invisible Man, who's also a girl. So if you think that sounds like a cool, fun premise, just want you to know that is happening. It's just a nice...
That style cover, too, is really popular right now. That negative space, I've seen that through multiple publishers.
That's why I picked that one. The other covers are cool, too, but I was like, this is the cover I think people are going to want.
Yeah.
If, they have to choose.
All right, this is another one from Scout. It is called Tart Toxic. What a name. That is the main character's name, I'm guessing right here. I'm getting a lot of Sandman vibes from this book, but it is about a soul named Tart who is standing against the forces of hell, and his job is to lead new souls through, but also seems to be creating some sort of army against demons in hell. There's a lot of hell books coming out of Scout right now, so pick your favorite. This one looks super trippy, like I said, a lot of maybe Sandman looking stuff with it, so check it out if you want.
Hellboy and the BPRD, a new 2-issue Hellboy series. This is Secret of Chesbro House, where Hellboy helps some psychics clear a haunted house for auction. So doing some good, just good normal work. Sure, it's gonna be crazy.
All right, so this is the last number one we finally have to talk about. There's definitely, I think, 23, 24 different number ones on our show today. Possibly a record. We've been doing the show a little over a year, about a year and a month now. So this is WWE New Day Power of Positivity, number 1 of 2. This is just a 2-issue series. This is supposed to be the origins of the wrestling team, The New Day, which you see the 3 members on the cover there. You get to find out who they are. You know, what are their full-on origins? This is a Boom book. So, are they standing on top of a pancake?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Okay.
I mean, that's positive. Rainbows and pancakes, that's about as positive as you can get.
Yeah.
All right, Nice House on the Lake. Who checked out issue number 1? We ordered so many, and based on how many we have left, I'm sure a lot of you have read it. So Nice House on the Lake number 1 was really good. I'm still not going to try to give any spoilers, but we got 10 characters gathered together, and things aren't going too well.
Stuff happens, and there's a house.
Yeah, it's got...
The house is nice.
Yeah, I can't even really say the major themes of it without... Yeah, the house is nice. It is a very nice house. Anyway, if you read the first one, you know what went down. So now our characters are going to have to decide what to do. And just like any great horror movie, when you have a lot of characters, they're not going to agree. They're all from different backgrounds. So what are they going to do in the situation, the predicament they find themselves in? We're going to probably have a lot of great dialogue. That's what James Tynion's known for, just along with good premises. So yeah, I'm really excited about number 2. I think everybody is. So this is the A cover.
I like that cover too. It's really creepy.
Yeah, the lighting, it's almost like someone holding up a flashlight.
Right.
Yeah.
What you would see.
For sure.
And not available yet. Yep. This is the... not going to pronounce that. Alright, so this is the B cover. Just go ahead and order it. If you liked the first one, it's the number 1's already gone up to $15, $20 for raw copies, so just go ahead and grab it.
Yeah, and once again, with these B covers, when they don't have the cover available and the order is due, because us retailers, we have to lock our orders in on Sunday.
Yeah.
Everybody under orders. So to make sure you get your copy, ask for it in advance with whoever you shop with.
Next up is Batman 110. This is the Jock variant cover. Always happy to see Jock back on doing some Batman stuff.
All right, so this is the variant cover to Batman The Adventures Continue Season 2, number 2. This is the Max Dunbar variant. I believe in this issue, Batman teams up with Zatanna and Deadman to go after Talon. That sort of
Batman looks like a really bad detective on this cover. He's like, I think there's something behind me or around me.
Alright, Crush and Lobo, number 2 of 8. This is the Dan Mora cardstock B cover. Of course, we know that Crush is venturing into space to see her dad in space jail. jail.
Jay, man, your Tennessee's coming out.
Yeah, so that they can do some much needed family counseling. So once again, this is the B cover for the series.
Next up is The Conjuring the Lover #2. I think this is cool now that the movie is out. We had the #1 that came out before the movie's out. Now I feel like we can get into some of the lore in this issue too, for The Conjuring the Lover. We even heard that term used in the movie where they said the lover. This is the B cover, the Ryan Brown like VHS cover, which I love that they're doing these. These look so cool.
All right, so this is Sensational Wonder Woman #5. This is the Run cardstock variant. And this issue sounds neat because apparently there's a 90-year-old woman that escapes a nursing home. And you follow her as she's like, I don't know, doing whatever she does when she escapes. But she recounts that she knew Wonder Woman back in World War II and tells stories of things that they did together back when she was young. So I think cool. That sounds neat.
All right, Suicide Squad #5. This is another cardstock cover by Gerald Perel.
Then we have a couple for Batman Urban Legends #5, the issue 4 that just came out, chock full of first appearances. So hopefully this continues the momentum that set up because it's really cool. This is the David Finch cover. Then we have the Tyler Kirkham variant. And then I'm really excited about this one because I love Stephanie Brown's spoiler. This is the Mini Yoon variant.
How many more issues of Urban Legends are there?
I think it's ongoing, but this may be the last issue that has the main Red Hood story in it. So they're kind of like cycling through the A story in these, and I think either this one or the next one is going to be the last part in Red Hood's story.
I see. This is Batman Second Son #4. This is the variant by Rachada Lynn, and they promise a blockbuster ending to this. I just hope they get him into training. I mean, he's with Katana on the cover, which is good because I think that's where he's going to get his training. But man, they took their sweet time to get around to this training.
All right, now we have Rorschach #10. This is the Jenny Frizen B cover.
Then we have this awesome cover for Swamp Thing #5. This is the Brian Bolin cover.
Okay, so Amazing Spider-Man #70 has a few cool variants we wanted to show you. This is the Momoko variant. She's doing these anime style variants. We showed a few earlier in the show, and this is the one for that. Just really cool looking. I wonder how this is going to look. Sometimes comics really look different when they're in your hand.
Yeah.
I think this one's going to look even better when it's live. And then here is the Baldian Handbook variant. So I don't know if they're going to keep doing these, but that's the cover.
I hope so. I like that classic Marvel handbook thing with the descriptions and the height and weight.
Typically when they give the variant a name, because it literally says on here handbook variant, that means it's going to be a series of them. So if you're interested in these and you think you might want to collect a cool series, this is the first one you can get. Then there's also going to be Amazing Spider-Man Annual #2. This is going to be part of the Infinite Destinies storyline. This is the C cover by Ron Lim. And so if you read the Infinite Destiny stuff, they're letting you know what happened with the Infinity Stones. They're bringing them back. In this one, Spider-Man's going to be interacting with Star, who, of course, is the possessor, sort of part of the Reality Stone. So I know we haven't seen Star in some time since all the Captain Marvel stuff, but she's back.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be a Comics from the Future if we didn't have a Ron Lim cover.
That's right.
He's got a cover every week.
All right, this is America Chavez, Made in the USA #4, her penultimate issue. It's going to be a 5-part series. So this is the Aspinall variant. Looks to be a Pride variant, very subtle Pride Month variant.
Then we have Avengers #46, another Momoko anime variant, this time with Blade. Super, super cool.
Speaking of Momoko variants, this is Immortal Hulk #48. And she gave Hulk the tousled anime hair.
That.
Yeah, he looks angry as anything otherwise.
Bedhead
somebody just tussled his hair. And then Immortal Hulk also has this Bennett homage variant as well. I'd like to remind everyone, Immortal Hulk is ending at issue 50, so only 2 more issues after this. Might be building up towards something big.
Speaking of final issues, this is the final issue of Captain America. Captain America number 30. This is the A cover. Really gorgeous. Yeah, just very much stands out.
Yeah.
So, final issues are typically under-ordered. So, definitely make sure to get your name on the list if you want it.
Yeah, that cover's cool. Something about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Then we have Children of the Atom number 5. This is the Chang variant.
Let's see. Ah, cool. Next up, we have Hellions number 13. This is the Dauterman variant. But look at that. Look at all the different Psylocks, all the different Betsy Broddocks all together on the same cover. So Dauterman previously did that really cool Rogue cover.
Yeah.
Was that for... that wasn't for Hellions, I don't think.
I think it's for Marauders.
I think it was for Marauders. And it was an incentive that had all the different rogues, and that cover is pricey now. I mean, that's like $70 to $90. This is open order. So if you thought that was cool, you like Dauterman and how he likes to do this, I think this is going to be one that we got to order extra. This is going to be one people sleep on, I think.
I also like it also subtly makes an X.
Yeah.
That's
true. It's a nice little touch.
Interesting.
All right, Star Wars Bounty Hunters number 14. This is, of course, the Sprouse Lucasfilms 50th anniversary variant with the gold border.
Then this is Basilisk number 2, the Simmons variant, which I believe this is the same Simmons from Department of Truth.
Yep.
So really cool. It's cool to see him do books outside of Department of Truth because his style's so unique, and we haven't really seen too much of that. So
Yeah.
really, really nice variant.
They haven't revealed all the different people's powers, exactly how they work. So, hers, it looks like it's touch.
Sneak attack hugging.
All right, so this is the Worst Dudes number 2. This is just the A cover. This is a part of the show. We show you other covers you might not know about. We remind you of series that just started. Let you know, hey, if you like number 1, sign up because your store's only going to order so many number 2s. So if you thought number 1 of the Worst Dudes was your thing, let us know because this is the issue number 2.
All right, Snake Eyes Dead Game number 5. Last issue in the series. This is the Liefeld A cover. Just the A cover here. I want to let you know it is the last issue.
Then we have a couple of covers for Geiger number 4. Always excited to see these because I love that they're getting different artists to do them. So this is the Walker variant. Then we have the Martinborough variant, which is very glowy, very cool. And then, of course, it's cool because Gary Frank ends up doing the A cover and one of the variants. And another super awesome Gary Frank cover. Oh, and then this is I believe this 3rd printing of number 1 or 4th printing of number...
Close. This is number 2, 3rd print.
Okay, number 2, 3rd print.
Yep.
Wow, I don't even remember the 2nd.
Yep.
But really, really cool. I love this cover. So, definitely going to get that one.
Speaking of cool image series with lots of covers, Nocterra number 5. This is the B cover, the Nord B cover. This is the C cover by Daniel, and this is the other cover by Francavilla. I had my lettering wrong,
And
but
the
this is the Francavilla cover. And then they're doing a number 2 4th printing, which they did not have the cover ready for, but if you want all the covers, we want you to know about them. So they will have this. Who knows what it's going to look like. And they're also doing a 3rd printing for number 3. So this is your chance to order them.
Wow.
Once again, stores are not going to order many of these because there's no covers to go on. So just, you're going to have to blindly trust in the art and tell your store that you want it, if you do.
All right, now we have the Good Asian number 3. This is the Cover B Bartel variant.
Walking Dead number 18. This is the Raposa. Been doing all these connecting variants, so really, really cool.
All right, this is win number 8. This is the Gonzalez variant. in this. I think Wind, his friends have to try to rescue him from the fairies. He's caught by the fairies and charged for murder. So, and those of you who don't know, this is another James Tynion book.
Yes.
This is the one that just kind of slipped through the cracks that people are kind of learning about at this point.
Okay, this is Betty Page, Curse of the Banshee, number 2. It's the Linsner cover. We have a lot of people around here, at least, who particularly collect Linsner stuff, so definitely don't sleep on this one.
Then we have Nightmare Before Christmas, Mirror Moon, number 2. I think we're still waiting for number 1 to come out, but this is number 2 on the ongoing adventures in Nightmare Before Christmas.
Another one that's going to be greatly under order.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And then, you know, when it comes to properties like this, people hear about it so much later. This is the sort of thing 6 months later, somebody comes in who's a true fan, and they're like, do you have this? And it's like, oh, we don't have every comic.
Yeah.
We can't hang on to it forever. All right, so Out of Body, number 2. If you liked number 1, this one says that this occult mystery is going to get even more weird.
Wow, I thought the first one was weird enough.
Yep, that's what they say. So, yes, number 2.
All right, G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, Yearbook, number 2. This is just the main cover for it. So if you like number 1, we have had number 1 come out. Yes, we have. So
I just
here's
love the
number
idea
2.
that they have a yearbook. Like, Snake Eyes is like, have a great summer, XOXO Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes wins most silent.
This is exciting. We have a ton of people who love the facsimile editions, and they've kind of not come out for like a year now.
Yeah.
But we are getting a Werewolf by Night, number 32, first appearance of Moon Knight facsimile edition. So if you've been waiting for these to come back, show your support and pick these up so they know that you want these facsimiles to continue.
All right, so a Scout comic that was definitely under order by a lot of stores is this comic Locust. This is the second print of number 1. It is about an apocalyptic world where something happened and almost everyone in humanity has turned into locusts that they have to fight. So number 1's going to second print. They also today or this week, number 2 is also open order.
All right, TMNT Last Ronin, number 3, second printing. Kind of curious why there's second printing of this, because I'm still able to order the number 3. But anyway, here we go. I'm sure there's not many left.
It's a different cover, so
And it's a
I'm
different
always
cover,
happy with that.
So why not? But anyway, this is of course, the Last Ronin series has been a huge hit. It's a 5-part series, so if you missed number 3 somehow, some way, the second printing is here to save the day. And there you go. There's a rhyme for you.
Mic drop. This is really cool. So Stray Dogs, for all of their variant covers, been doing the horror movie poster variants. I love how they've just leaned into this. Now they're like, this is what people want. We're going to give them every movie we can think of. So this is Stray Dogs number 1, 4th printing, which, of course, is John Carpenter's The Thing. I didn't know if we were going to play, like, Guess It or whatever, but I think this one is pretty simple.
There's one of these coming up that you and I didn't know. Maybe Megan will know.
Okay, let's see.
And if not, they can guess that one.
Yeah. Okay, then we have Stray Dogs number 2, 3rd printing. Big fan of this movie. Evil Dead.
Yep. Evil Dead.
Then we have this one. I don't know. It's like the girl from the original cover. They turned her into a dog because you look at it and be like, oh yeah, that looks exactly like it, just dog form. So this is Stray Dogs number 3, 3rd printing, the Midsummer variant.
And this last one's the one we weren't sure about.
Yeah. So this is Stray Dogs number 4, 3rd printing. You know what it is.
I don't know. It definitely looks like Alfred Hitchcock.
I think so too. It looks like classic.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know this off the top of my head.
Or Rear Window, or
Vertigo?
Vertigo.
No, it's not Vertigo.
It has something to do with the way they put the thing through the Stray Dogs, that the line cuts through it. That has to be like how the original was.
Let us know. What is the cover to this?
It's got that
In
Art
the comments.
Deco style of the poster of the time.
All right, so this is Cherry Blackbird number 1, 2nd printing. Another Scout comic that's gone back for 2nd printing. And it's about a girl who sold her soul to the devil so that she could be part of a rock band until she's 27. But she's now 26 and she's about to have to go to hell. The devil says, hey, if you collect up these 7 evil demons who escaped hell, I won't take your soul. And so that's what she's trying to do.
This issue was polybagged for the first one. It came out this week. I got it, and this is the first few pages are one of the craziest things I've ever seen in comics. So if that just gives you any, just not for kids.
All right, this is Nottingham. If you have been able to get this book, you are blessed
You're
in
a
life.
magician.
And to the publisher of this, why can't we ever get our orders for it? Anyway, Nottingham, number 1, it's seeing other printings yet again. Nottingham number 1, 5th printing is coming out. Number 2, 4th printing. Number 3, 3rd. Number 4, 2nd printing.
So I will say, I have a little more faith that these printings we might get.
Okay.
Usually, it's like even on the distributor level, it's not on Previews World. It's been really weird. This is the first time they've all been actually up on Previews World, which to me says maybe they're ahead of the game enough to get the number to the printer to get the right amount. So, because seriously, we've been getting allocated down to like one of each, no matter what we order.
Next up is Unearthed, a Jessica Cruz story. So now we're getting into some of the collected editions and paperbacks and all of that. This is a new DC one about Jessica Cruz, the Green Lantern. This is kind of a young adult, older kid reader age graphic novel following Jessica Cruz, who has like severe anxiety, agoraphobia. Her original appearance, like she hadn't left the house in years and everything, and really exploring that. And I think it's great for young kids to read a book about her who overcomes her fear and becomes a Green Lantern, who that's their big thing, is they have the willpower to overcome fear. So really, really cool. And this is $16.99.
All right, so this is Joker, Harley, Criminal Sanity, the hardcover for $34.99. This was a really neat take on Joker and Harley relationship. It uses, because a lot of times people forget Harley Quinn started out a psychiatrist. She, she's got the degree, she's got the smarts. So this uses a lot of forensic psychology, behavior analysis, just sort of psychological, profiling to describe not just Joker, but also Harley. It was really interesting reading.
We have a connection with this book because we know people who worked on it, and even people who have guest appearances in it. They're actually featured in the book. So, yeah, we have a close tie with this one.
So, so this is the hardcover, just $34.99.
All right. Oh, my gosh. What a tumultuous book. Batman Fortnite 0 Point is seeing a hardcover release. So this is going to be $25. You are going to get a code that's going to unlock 7 items. It's probably the codes that have been released alongside it. They did not confirm that.
That is more than how many issues were in it.
That's true.
So there's some, even if you get some of the same stuff, you might be getting some new stuff.
An extra thing. So a code that will unlock 7 items. And this is the hardcover, so if you just want everything or you missed out on one, it's a good opportunity to get it all collected together.
Next up, this sounded really funny. I was doing the research for this. So this is Disney's Doorway to Danger. This is a $12.99 little graphic novel. And the story is Mickey, Donald, Minnie, Uncle Scrooge, all of the friends are all contestants on a reality TV game show. They got to collect all these keys and everything. So what hijinks are they going to get into?
All right, what do you think this is?
I don't speak that language.
You actually don't, so you're on to
okay,
it.
good.
This is called Malrith Vallis, and it is a story about an Earthling on Mars. It's a fighter pilot, and they go off course, and they end up learning all this stuff about like original Martians, and it's supposed to be told in the original Martian way. So I think that's why the words are strange and interesting. Like I wish I could see more in the book. I want to see how you tell a Martian story in the original Martian way. but I'm interested. And I think it's very bold they went with a title like that. So this is $14.99.
Okay, this looks cool. This is called Frink and Freud. And yes, it's about Sigmund Freud. It is $23 graphic novel coming out. It's about Freud's relationship with this guy named Horace Frink. It's not a very well-known story, but basically Freud met him on a tour in America and almost ruined his reputation. The guy had a really sordid past, and Freud got involved in some really shady things with him. But of course, the story was buried, I guess, and it could have, Freud already has such a weird reputation, but this could have ruined it, just destroyed him professionally. So it's a tragic tale in this, and I don't know much about it. For as much as I love reading about psychology and things like that, I've never heard of this tale, so it should be pretty interesting for any psychology junkies out there. So $22.99.
I've seen people blow some pretty impressive smoke rings, but Freud is blowing the entire continent of North
States,
America.
yeah. Oh,
Like,
the whole continent? Yeah.
It's
Dang.
gonna.
Wow.
So, you don't have to have $1 million. You don't have to have no crystal balls, because this is Sublime $5 at the door. A new graphic novel for only $25.99 that explores it's anthologies of the band Sublime, the legends and the origins of the band, done by some artists that have done like album art with them and everything. So if you're a big Sublime fan, you gotta get this.
There's a lot of different graphic novels out this week. Some really cool stuff for almost anybody.
Yep.
So, some people are really big. I like Sublime, but I'll tell you the reason I know some people are really big Sublime fans. People were asking me about this months ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and I saw it this week. I'm like, oh, the thing that I've been asked about for months is coming out. I mean, I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah.
And that is it.
Yay.
That is our
Woo!
long-winded show for this week. Last week was the third Wednesday week where comics come out, or fifth, where comics come out on fifth Wednesday. They always make it a small selection, and it's almost always followed by a big week.
Yeah.
And this one was just massive.
If you couldn't tell, we tried to go through it pretty fast, so you may need to go back and find the ones you wanted the most, and definitely let us know. DC orders need to be locked in by Sunday, and the rest can be given to us on Monday. And yeah, I figured out the poster of what it's going to be, or what the Stray Dogs was.
Stray
I'm not
Dogs.
going to say it, but I will tell everybody just a big hint. It's probably the most famous Alfred Hitchcock movie. So there you go.
Okay.
Just feel good about and smart about yourself and go write it in the comments. All right. Anything y'all want to end with?
I think that is it. I'm glad I had something to drink while we went through all this.
Yep.
All right,
It's
guys.
a big, exciting week for comics.
Yes, indeed. So do not miss out on some of this. It's a lot to look at. So we will see you next week. Make sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. We're getting so close to having 1,000 subscribers, and we thank you, everybody who tunes in and comments every week. We really appreciate it. Love seeing it. So until next time.